If you are earning very high salary in your job, then is it a significant advantage for your PR application or it is likely to work other way? Let's have a look. So what happens is we often get client inquiries and some of these clients tend to be from a very high salaried background. By very high, I mean their salary typically ranges between 25,000 to 80,000 Singapore dollars per month. So this range I am referring is a per month, not per year. There are many people in Singapore who do not get 80,000 Singapore dollars even per year. And in some of the cases, their spouses are also working in high position. So it is not difficult to get inquiry from somebody whose annual income is somewhere in the range of the family annual income is in the range of half a million to 1.5 million dollars. But for many of them, the permanent residency application got rejected. And they often are quite annoyed about it because they feel that I am earning so much, I am so much well educated, so I don't understand why my PR gets rejected. So let's move ahead and let's understand what's going on here. So here are some of the observations that I'm presenting about these high salaried people who are working in Singapore. Typically, they tend to be from a highly educated background. They have graduated or they may have multiple qualifications from top universities in their home country. They will have a work background where they have worked in best of the companies in the world. Maybe they have worked with Google, Facebook, multinational companies, some of the very fancy startups in the world. They often work in the sectors of demand or in new technologies. For example, blockchain, fintech, new IT technologies, cloud computing, financial technologies, derivatives trading, working as a chief of treasury department in a multinational bank, working in investment banking, and so on. Typically, these are the brilliant minds that you can find on this planet, and the IQ also typically tend to be very high. And throughout their school, college, and work, they have outstanding record. They have outperformed everybody in their school, colleges. They have been topper in their work performance. They have done some of the best projects. This is typically is a profile of the person, but the problem is their PR is rejected. Now, one thing you need to understand is that what is the purpose of giving a PR? When government authorities run structured migration programs, when they give permanent residency, whether it is Singapore, Australia, or any other country, what is the purpose of giving that PR? The purpose of giving that PR is always about getting people and possibly their next generation to settle in the country. Now, if your situation cannot demonstrate this, then there is no, then the salary that you earn doesn't really matter. That you have to understand. And this becomes even more important in case of Singapore because Singapore has a limited land and it cannot take hundreds of thousands of migrants like the way Australia or Canada do. So now I will highlight some of the negative points which became apparent for this kind of highly salaried person. It's not negative, but negative from the viewpoint of immigration view. So the first thing you will notice, they are financially strong because they are highly salaried. They have already done a lot of investment. They may have two or three apartments, land, houses, shares in their home country. That means their retirement or any kind of settling back in their home country is already taken care of. If they have kids, these kids go to highly reputed schools. They will try admission in Cambridge, Carnegie Mellon, MIT, Harvard. These are the typical names I hear from them. But when you consider from the immigration point of view, the point is you are already financially strong. You can easily settle back in your home country. You can send your kids at your personal expense to any country for education. And even if in Singapore, if you happen to lose your job, you can easily find a new one. But then the question is, with this kind of situation, what are the chances really that you will stay in Singapore? Or are there high chances that you may vanish from here along with your family after 10 years? For example, after your working life is over, you will go back to your home country, and possibly your kids, if you have any, those would have taken education in US or UK and they may not be interested in coming back. So when we have a limited number of 30,000 people to release as a PR, should we really consider you? So in summary, high salary is definitely a plus point, but it also raises some other questions. And you have to address those questions in your application. That is equally important. So my recommendation is that if you fall in this category of a very high salaried person, then do not overemphasize this fact, because that will be anyway evident from your salary slips and company letter. Also, don't emphasize how your kids are planning to go to MIT and Cambridge and all those high-fi institutions. Instead, focus on how you will be relevant for Singapore over a longer period of time, because that is what immigration authorities will be interested to know.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel today. PR Application is a leading immigration consultancy company in Singapore.